Welcome. This is Miriam Estrada, former member of CEDAW Committee, current legal advisor to the United Nations Security Council. Having said that, let's get to the point. We are living political and historical circumstances that oblige all of us to work even harder in the compliance with human rights principles, rule of law, democracy, and peace. Nonetheless, we will not be able to accomplish all these goals if first we don't accomplish the principle of equality between men and women in all areas of our social life. I am talking about equality before the law, equality within the family, health, education, employment, political participation, and mainly the eradication of all forms of violence against women and girls. All of these subjects constitute the core mandate of the Convention for the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. It's a long name, I am aware of it, and this is why we call it the CEDAW Convention. The CEDAW Convention is known worldwide as the Bill of Rights of Women. It identifies and defines for the first time what exactly discrimination against women is. It's also the Human Rights Treaty, the only one that identifies the cultural stereotypes as major source of discrimination, gender discrimination in the society. The convention is in force since 1979, and so far 186 countries have signed and ratified the convention and are legally bound to take all kinds of appropriate measures, including legislative measures, special temporary measures, in order to put into force in their territories the principles of the convention. For monitoring the convention is needed at the international level, the organization, and it actually exists as a human rights treaty body, the CEDAW Committee, and a special committee composed by 23 international independent experts. The convention also demands that every state party of this convention actually organize at the national level national monitoring mechanisms in order to comply with the convention, to draft a report that should be sent to the committee, to the CEDAW committee every 4 years, to involve all civil society and citizens in order to be taught about the principles and mandate of the convention. And this is precisely the part where national human rights institutions and academia should play an absolute, fundamental and crucial role. I would like to describe the role that we all can play in the promotion and implementation and dissemination of women's rights as an interactive triangle. So one part of this triangle would be the staff of the national human rights institutions that, as you are aware, they must, among a lot of other duties, they must monitor the implementation of the convention. They have to advise people on their rights. They have to advise the government on what kind of laws and regulations should be adopted from the point of view of the convention. And also they have to support not only the drafting of the report that should be sent to the committee, but the programs, the educational programs. And if this is possible, to take part in educating people from the school, universities, and different professional circles. The other part of this triangle, this interactive triangle, would be the academia. Let's not forget that CEDAW Convention is the only convention, as I said, that identifies cultural stereotypes as the major source of gender discrimination. who else better but the members of the academia that to be able to change the mentality, to help changing the idiosyncrasy of their students. This is absolutely crucial in order to eradicate discrimination. The third part of this interactive triangle will be conformed by international experts that are very willing to share with all of you their knowledge, their activities on capacity building in order to enrich mutually on the implementation of all these Bill of Rights. Therefore, let's call this activity the interactive triangle for human rights of women and, of course, peace and eradication of discrimination. The need to strengthen the relationship between the different parts of this interactive triangle lies in the fact that it doesn't matter at all that we have ratified the conventions, that we have actually adopted any kind of laws or put in place several mechanisms to help the people if the people are not aware of their rights, are not aware that they can demand these rights, complain when these rights are violated, and of course, being protected against injustices and discrimination. Having said this, I close this briefing to all of you, looking forward for a very interesting and challenging, I hope, discussions in the upcoming seminar in Bangkok. Thank you very much for your attention.